Okay, we're going to graph linear inequalities today. We're going to graph the boundary line and we're going to do the shading. So the first step for linear inequalities, we graph the boundary line. The only thing to be careful of when you graph the boundary line is there's a dash line if there's a less than or a greater than symbol, just like an open circle. Okay, dash lines look like that, okay? If there's an equal sign at the bottom of the inequality, like less than or equal to, greater than or equal, it's a solid line. This is like an open circle versus a colored in circle. Okay, after we have the boundary line, then we're going to test a point on the line like we did yesterday, and we'll shade this side with the solutions. Let's try the first one. Okay, first thing I have to graph is the boundary line. So let's look at the inequality before I start because I will forget. Okay, this is less than. There's no equal sign, so it's going to be a dash line. Okay, I'm going to graph this like a normal line. What do we have? It's in slope-intercept form, so the y-intercept is positive 2. My slope is negative 3/4, so from here I'm going to go down 3/4. And then, especially because I'm not using a pencil, I'm going to make sure I use a dash line. Okay, it still goes, it has arrows on both sides, it still goes forever and make it go long. Okay, so this is the boundary line. Now there should be a side shaded. It will either be up here or it will be down here. So I'm going to pick a point to check and then decide which one to shade. Now, because 0, 0 is available, I'm going to plug in 0, 0. And again, the only reason I use 0, 0 is because it's easy to plug in and I'm lazy. Okay, y is 0. Negative 3/4 times 0 is 0. And some of you are going to recognize it's 0 faster. So is 0 less than 0 plus 2? 0 plus 2 is 2. Is 0 less than 2? Yes, it is. Which means when I shade it, I need to shade this side with 0, 0. Okay, and then all the solutions are on the shaded side. And this is a complete graph. I did the boundary line correctly, and I shaded the correct side. Okay, let's try some other ones. Same idea, I'm just trying to make them a little trickier. Okay, first thing we're going to do is the boundary line. Okay, right there it is. It's a less than or equal. Because it has an equal sign, it's going to be a solid line, just like a colored closed circle, like a colored in circle. So I'm going to make sure this is a solid line when I graph it. Okay, now it's in slope-intercept form because it starts with y. It's 3/2 x. The y-intercept is 0 because it's like there's an imaginary plus 0 here. So I'm going to start at 0. The slope is up 3/2. And I'm going to draw this line as a solid line, which is normally how we draw it anyways. Long. Arrows at the ends are always nice. Okay, now I want to check which side to shade. It will either be here or here. I cannot use 0, 0 this time, unfortunately, because it is on the line. There's a fraction here, and the fraction is next to x, so I would like to keep the x 0. So maybe I'll go to 0 and I'll go up to something up here. How about like 0, 1, 2, 3? How about 0, 4? You can pick a different point. Some people like to use 1, 1. Just be careful, this is x, y. So the y is 4, 3/2, x is 0. 4 is less than 0. No, it's not. So do not shade this side. Shade the other side of the boundary line. Okay, 2 more, mostly because of the weird boundary line. Okay, x is greater than 2. Okay, there's no equal sign, so it's going to be dashed. Okay, now weirdly, there's also only one letter here. It's not y, it's x. So I'm going to go to where x is 2, and I'm going to try to remember how to graph this. Okay, if it intersects the x-axis, it's going to be a vertical line. So I'm going to make a dashed vertical line through x is 2. I'm still making it long, I'm still putting arrows. Okay, now I need to figure out whether I'm going to shade over here or over here. What am I going to check? I'm going to use 0, 0 because, again, it's just so easy. Okay, so x is 0. So is 0 greater than 2? Nope. So do not shade the 0, 0 side. The solutions are going to lie on the other side. Okay, one more. Y is less than or equal to 1. There is an equals here, so it's going to be a solid line. Okay, the y-intercept is 1. Where's the slope? There's no slope? This is a horizontal line then. Okay, so y equals 1 is going to pass right through here. Okay, I can pick any point I want. I'm going to use 0, 0. Again, no reason except laziness, and I'd like you to tell me which point you picked. Okay, 0 is less than or equal to 1? Yes, it is. So yes, shade the 0, 0 side, which is from the blue line and up. Okay, and if you stripe it or scribble it, that's fine. Okay, go ahead and try the practice problems on the back.